Hey, Robert here from Master Guitar Academy. Today I want to show you how I create backing tracks using a software program called Band in a Box. Now I think this program is completely amazing. And the reason I'm saying that because it's so easy to create a song and it sounds great. So the way I do this is to simply type in the chords for each bar of this track that I'm building. And let's start with a new file. And this is the default what we see here. And this interface is quite intimidating. There's a lot of features in the program, but the good thing is we don't need to use most of those just to create the backing track. That sounds great. So let's say we're building a blues in the key of A. So it defaults to C. So I'm going to go up here and change it to A. Actually, we don't even need to do that, but I want to show you this little window because that lets us transpose to any key we want. So let's say we have a 12-bar blues, for example, in the key of A, and we want to practice it in F sharp. All you need to do is to go here and select the key, and then the software will transpose all the chords accordingly. So instead of having D7 for the 4 chord, which is the natural in the key of A, for F sharp, that would be B, and so on. And it works beautifully with the real tracks, so it's going to sound awesome. So this way, you can, through one song that you created, you typed in the chords, you can actually create 12 different keys out of that one song just by going here and selecting. It's super handy for practicing. And the tempo, 120, oh, that's probably fine. And here I'm going to change it to go from the first bar to the 12th bar. And it's going to play through bar 1 to 12 3 times. If I wanted to, I can also set it to loop the whole song over and over. So this is just a practice track. So it's not going to be anything fancy right now. But the cool thing is I can easily change the structure of this song at any time. And it's going to sound great anyway. So let's start with the first chord. I'm just going to click in bar 1 here and just type in A7. And we can see how that shows up here as well. I hit return or enter. And that's the first bar. So what we can do now is to double click on this first bar to see what it sounds like. And as you can hear, it already sounds great. So let me tell you about the style feature. There's 2 ways that you can get the style of playing into this program. The first one is to use MIDI styles. And the playing is great on those, but as you probably know, MIDI sounds aren't always the greatest. So this software has what's called real styles. And these are real instruments that are recorded by top studio players. And that's what we're hearing right here. It sounds like a real recording, and that's because that's what it is. So the cool thing is when you build your tune or your backing track, the real style is going to apply that playing and those sounds to those chords that you type in here. I think that's just so sweet. It's so simple and it sounds so good. So let's continue. Let's just stay with A7 for 4 bars. So I don't actually have to type in anything more here. I could do A7 for bar 2, 3, and 4, but I don't really need to. It's just going to keep going. So on the 5th bar, I'm going to type in D7. And again for bar 6, D7. And then back to A7. Then on bar 9, I'm going to put in an E7. And on bar 11, back to A7. So there we have a very simple form of a 12-bar blues in the key of A. So since I have set start and end to 1 and 12, so when we get to bar 12, it's just going to start playing back from the beginning again. Now, in case you're wondering about the 1A that we see here, that's called a sub-style. If I click on it again, there's an 1B. If I control click on it, we'll see more details. So that just means that we're going to get a fill by the drummer right before that bar starts. So we can choose a different sub-style if we want. That's how we build our progression. You don't need to worry about that, but it's a nice little feature. So we're ready to play back our jam track. So let's click on play and listen to the whole thing. It sounds great. Now, up here we have a mixer, so in case I didn't want that organ, I can just mute it. Or maybe I don't want the guitar, but I want the organ because I am going to play the guitar. There's a resophonic here that I had muted already. Let's turn it on. Cool. And of course I have faders, so I can lower the volume of one of the instruments if I like. Right? So it's very simple to get started. So this is basically what I do to create a backing track for myself to practice to, or for my students. And it's a great idea generator that you can then, of course, take and record on your own with each instrument being played by you and your friends or something. That's fine. But let me show you one more thing. We see here that we had this style, the real style that I was talking about. So let's change this and see what it sounds like with a different style. I'm going to click on this button, and here it's going to load all the different styles that I have in my version of Band in a Box. So where it says real styles, those are the ones that have the real instruments recorded by players. I can preview one of these just to double click on it. Bluegrass, and it sounds great. There's jazz in here. Smooth jazz sounds fantastic. As you can see, there's tons of styles available for you. Let's go into rock. Here's one called Brit John. British Blues Invasion. That sounds cool. Now let's take this style and apply it to this chord progression that we typed in. I have this selected and I click on OK here, and it's going to load this style to our song, and then it's going to start playing it back. So let's check that out. Yeah, that's kind of a rocking blues. I can adjust the instruments in the mixer, of course. Just bass, piano, drums. Let's add one guitar. Here's the other guitar. Both guitars. So there you have it. This is how I use Band in a Box to create backing tracks quickly and with great sound. So if you're interested in creating backing tracks quickly and easily, do have a look at Band in a Box. I think it's really, really fantastic. All right, thanks for watching. I'll catch you in another video soon. Bye for now.